All, welcome to Raw Cognizance. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on YouTube and also live on TikTok. Yes, this is a double live streaming, and hopefully it goes well. I am looking at multiple live chats right now. Well, hold up. Let me change this really quickly. Now I am currently looking at multiple live chats, the one on YouTube and then the one on TikTok. Thank you all so much for joining me. First time doing this. I wanted to see if it would work out, and so far, yeah, no issues on my end. Hello. Letting people come in on the YouTube side because I literally just went live. Literally just went live on the YouTube side of things. And they're going to come in like you guys are already here. So, thank you to all the people joining me on wherever you're watching this. We got two topics. I got a massive one to discuss, the Alien Enemies Act that DJT tried to invoke. By the way, on YouTube, because I'm on TikTok, I'm going to be censoring myself just a little bit. Not too much. We gonna be cussing here in a second. Trust me when I say that. But, yeah. Listen, I got to watch what I say because TikTok got some rules and I want to keep whatever it is I got on there. I just cleared my account of all the CGVs, the violations, and I want to keep it that way. So we're going to censor ourselves just a little bit, but don't worry, they're going to be flying. The F-bomb's going to be flying in just a second. So we'll cover the Aliens Enemies Act. We'll talk about Mr. Fuentes. I know his actual name is Fuentes, but yes, that guy, the neo-Yahtzee, who came out and said, yeah, you know what, guys, you were right about DJT. He's not a good guy at all. Thanks, Nick. He says it after what? It's way too late now, but glad you came to that realization, sir. Jesus Christ almighty. So we'll go ahead and get into those, and at the end, I'll take a Q&A, maybe a couple of minutes to do a Q&A, get some questions in and say hello to the people on both. And we'll see how this works. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'm excited to see how this works out. Apparently, this is a very popular live. A lot of people like it. We got people coming in, and YouTube's picking up steam. Hello to everybody. Yeah, this is a lot to manage for one person. But I have moderators, a moderator on YouTube. I'm not worried about YouTube. I might need to get some moderators here in TikTok, though. All right, enough stalling. Let's get to it. You guys are here to hear me talk about politics. Let's get right to it. So your boy, DJT, tried to invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which of course was done during World War I and World War II. And I think this was the fourth time it was enacted. It hasn't been enacted outside of wartime because it's a wartime act. But he enacted it because he wants to get up these deportations that have not been going well. He tried to get all these immigrants, these non-Americans out of here during these ICE raids, right? They have not been going well at all. Matter of fact, I think so far he hasn't been as successful with these ICE raids. They've already deported less than Biden. Biden deported in his first few months. And they're spending more money doing it. They're spending more money trying to deport these people and failing. Think about that. And failing than he did, than Biden did. Biden didn't spend as much money and he got more out. That's crazy. And so to juice it up, he enacted these this Alien Enemies Act to give him more power, wartime power, to then get these guys out. And how he frames it is this. He's framing it as, we're trying to get this Venezuelan prison gang out of the country. What is it? Tren de Aragua, right? I'm probably saying that wrong. Tren de Aragua, Tren de Aragua, something like that. Trying to get this Venezuelan prison gang out of here. But let's just be real. Let's not kid ourselves. They're not just going after the gang, right? We all know who he's really going after. He wants to go after anybody that looks Latino. Because that's how they do it, right? They're saying, well, we're trying to go after the Venezuelans. But in reality, he wants to go after everybody Latino. He doesn't know the difference. He doesn't know the difference between a South American, a Brazilian, Cuban, a Salvadorian, Hispanic, Mexican. He thinks they all look alike. I make this joke a lot because I love watching Rush Hour, especially Rush Hour 2. But you know that scene when Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker are fighting all of these bad guys, right? And then he accidentally punches Jackie and goes, "Man, all y'all look alike." That's DJT. He doesn't know the difference. And I gotta say this too, it's gonna tie into something. But like with Asians, the worst thing you can call someone who's Japanese is Chinese. Vice versa. If you call a Chinese person Japanese, oh my God, you might as well call me the N-word. That's the worst insult you can give to them. And he doesn't know the difference, and he never will. It's actually pretty sad when you think about it. And so we all know what he really wants to do. What he wants to do is use this as an excuse to get through whatever deportation plan he has. And honestly, I think it's not just deportation. I think he's trying to turn Latinos into, let's just say it, 1930s Germany. That's what he really wants. This isn't about, helping America and supporting, his constituent and making it easier for them to make a living. It's not about that, because that's what they're going to argue. We're trying to open up opportunities, right? Open up all of these opportunities for people to make more money, to get more jobs, and that's how they're going to frame it. And he'll frame it as, well, we got to get these criminals out of here. That's not what's happening. That's not at all what's happening. He is Ray Ray. He has a thing against Latinos. I don't know what happened to him when he was younger. Maybe he liked a Latino woman, a Latina, and they didn't want him. Rightfully so. Unless he had money, and even then some of them still didn't want him. And so he has a thing against Latinas and Latinos. It's horrible. I hate it. And you should hate it too. So we're stuck dealing with this man's clear xenophobia against a certain group of people. But I'm happy to say that when he tried to enact this, a judge by the name of, is it James Boasberg? James Boasberg, right? Who was appointed by Obama. Thanks, Obama. Thank you, Obama. I'll always keep saying thank you, Obama, because that pisses off DJT. But one of Obama's appointed judges came out and simply said, you can't do that. Sorry. He went as far as to say, anybody currently in the air right now, needs to turn around. Because if any one of them land in wherever they were going, was it El Salvador, I think? Wherever they were going, you would be in violation of the law. He said, turn them planes around right now, or you would be in violation. Now, here's the thing. I did see that Aaron Parnas did report that a few hundred of them, unfortunately, did get deported anyways. Now, me and Aaron are cool, so I had to give him some credit, but there's also this part of me where he reports things and he gives DJT way too much leeway, and it's not him, it's just who he is. But he's a lawyer. That's what I don't know. They have a certain way of looking at things. For me, I go, that sounds like a violation of the law. But anyways, he's reporting that hundreds were deported anyways. A few hundred were deported, and his argument is they were already on the ground. They were already on the ground when this judge made that order. Although he made it like hours, like literal hours. It wasn't like a day or two. It was literally hours after DJT invoked the Alien Enemies Act. And so I'm thinking, well, unless they went on jets, there's no way that too many people were able to land in El Salvador that quickly. And again, we don't know. And Aaron's doing that whole, well, we don't know. So maybe he violated the law, maybe he didn't. It sounds like a violation to me. If a judge said, don't deport anybody, and they got deported anyways, you violated the law. I don't want to do that whole, did he really though? No, he did. But whatever. Like, they got to have proof that when the judge said, don't deport anybody, they have to then prove, were there any ones that DJT deported after he said it? And that could take forever. So I think the timeline shows he disobeyed the order. But whatever. You got to get into the nuts and bolts of it. It's stupid. But anyways, let's get to the real meat of this issue I have. My biggest issue with what he's doing right now is that because he's disobeying the judges, clearly disobeying them, and because the judges keep coming out and stopping him at every turn, it's putting these judges in the line of fire. Because now the maggots, the red hats, the cultists are now targeting the judges. There was a story that came out. I forgot which judge it was, but there was a judge who literally got an anonymous pizza sent to his house. It was just pizza sent to his house. And it was by a red hat who found his or her address and told them, we know where you live. Yeah, threats. They're getting those kind of threats now for simply following the Constitution, performing their constitutional duty. They're getting threats for disobeying their king, for going against their God king. That's how bad it's gotten now. It's gotten to the point where these judges have to now fear for their own safety and their family's safety for just simply doing what they're supposed to be doing, following the Constitution. No, it's not okay. No, it's not right. And my biggest fear is that eventually, and yes, on YouTube, Alyssa is saying, can I add to a Blue Sky post showing the timeline? Yes, you can link whatever you need to link, Alyssa. I trust you. Go ahead and link that. But anyways, now eventually someone is going to get offed. And when I say off, I mean we're this close, y'all. We're this close. We are so close to people getting. And once that happens, so far, it hasn't happened yet. So far, right. I know some of you are like, for real? I'm not kidding. So far, it hasn't happened. Nobody has been. People have been tortured. Look up Fabian Schmidt. Look him up. Look him up. They've been kidnapped. They've been detained illegally. But nobody has been. And I think we're getting very close to it. We're getting really, really close to someone getting RIP'd. And once we cross that line, there's no going back. Once we cross that line where someone goes, that's it. It's a wrap. Consider it a wrap. And the country from that point forward will be in a different place. Because you already know, and whether he and see, I have to watch my words here because, again, we're on a different app here. Whether DJT himself commanded the act, someone to be, right? Whether he commands that or not, maybe someone takes it into their own hand. Once someone is offed, we're in a completely different game now. It's a totally different game because it'll be seen as two ways. The first way is, okay, so that's where we are. Now his maggots will start offing other people. And so, unfortunately, that's just how it is. Or vice versa, people from our side will be, oh, okay, eye for an eye. I'm not saying I advocate for that. I'm just saying once you cross that line, that's where we're going to be. And I think we're getting dangerously close to that. When he's invoking these kinds of orders, these acts, through executive order, by the way, and we get these judges at every turn saying, no, you can't do that. Something's got to give here. Something's got to give. Now, so far, DJT, whenever he's giving these no's, when the judges say no, he's obeyed. Technically speaking, he's obeyed. I've spoken to lawyers about this. Whenever they say, sorry, you can't take away anyone's citizenship. You can't fire all of these federal workers. And now you can't enact this order. When he's told no, he obeys. He goes, all right, I won't do that. There hasn't been anything yet, although he's been advised by JD and other people in his cabinet that he should disobey. He hasn't disobeyed. You hear me? I'm scared of what's going to happen when eventually, let's just call it like it is. Eventually, he is going to disobey. He is going to disobey. When he does that, and we enter a constitutional crisis, what's going to happen? What is that going to look like? What are we going to do? Because I believe the very second he actually disobeys a judge, they should arrest him. They should arrest him. Don't wait for the Supreme Court to say no. Arrest him. Because currently, speaking of judges, Amy Coney Barrett and Chief Justice Roberts, they have been also getting threats from maggots. Especially Amy Coney Barrett. Why do they always go after the women? Why is that? To my ladies out there, why is it that these weak, rich white males, whenever they don't get their way, they never go after the men? They always go after the women. I just answered my own question. Because they're weak. But Amy Coney Barrett has been getting threats all over the place for simply saying no to the God King. And the thing about Amy Coney Barrett, we all know she's a religious nut. She's a religious nut. She wants a theocracy here in this country. She wants a theocracy here. But I think she has a line in terms of what she's willing to let DJT do. Now keep this in mind. This woman got rid of Roe v. Wade. She's not a good person. I'm sorry. Anyone that would be okay with privacy being violated like this, that would allow women this inability to get what they need medically, because this is what I do during lives. I go all over the place. So we're going to get into abortions now. We'll get back to the actual topic in a second, but I promise you. But abortions is healthcare. I'm going to say it again. Abortions is healthcare. They're healthcare. Because 1 out of 4 women can't get pregnant. Well, they get pregnant, they can't have a child. How about that? When I say they can't get pregnant, I'm saying it could be life or death if they have a child. 1 out of 4 women. This is proven statistically. And so when they are put in this position to get an abortion, it's not that they wake up and go, I like taking out babies. I want to get pregnant and then get an abortion. That's not what that is. It's like, I am going to die if I try to have this child. That's what that is. And Amy Coney Barrett just said, I don't care whether you live or die. I care about my religion. Which is anti-religion, by the way. She is such a religious nut that she literally said, I don't care whether you live or die. My God says abortion's bad. They always go after the women, and I hate that. For real. As a male, it pisses me off. But, and I say that to make the point, Amy Coney Barrett is not a good person. She's not a good person. But the fact that she has a line to at least go, I might be bad, but DJT is way too bad for me. And the moment she showed that line, the maggots turned on her almost instantly. And so DJT knows, now at least, that he's not invincible. So if he tries anything crazy, if he tries to go against one judge, it's not a guarantee that the Supreme Court will support him. So we're good right now. Currently, everything is sweet. He's not going to try to go too far out there because he's being held back by the judges. But eventually, his cabinet, his posse is going to encourage him to do something really stupid, which is disobey a judge. When that happens, I'm hoping that the judges do the right thing and arrest him immediately. And don't worry about whether or not he'll have immunity over it. He has immunity over certain acts. Yes, official acts, but that can be challenged in law. That can be challenged in court. Let that be challenged in court. The moment he disobeys, arrest him. And here's the thing. He might not be able to go to jail because of, him being the president. JD doesn't have immunity. The Muskrat doesn't have immunity. None of the congressmen have immunity. His cabinet members don't have immunity. They can all be arrested. Gone just like that. I'm just saying that despite the fact that he has immunity, that doesn't mean he can't be arrested. We should still be fighting against him. So, we're going to see. Everyone's telling me that he violated the order anyways. Again, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think the timeline shows that he violated the order. But the argument right now from lawyers that I speak to, including Aaron Parnas, the lawyers are saying he didn't necessarily violate the order because the people on the ground were already there. And if that's not the case, then they would have to prove it, and that's a whole other thing. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that's crazy. We'll keep an eye on that story. Nick Fuentes. Let's talk about the neo-Yahtzee, the nationalists over here, who actually did pick DJT during the 2024 contest. He picked this guy. Of all people, to come out and say, my bad, Nick Fuentes? Because that's what happened. Nick over here came out and said, you know what, Democrats? You know what, libtards? Y'all were right. You were right about DJT. Thanks, Nick. A little late. About time you realize the error of your ways. Let me read to you what he said. He said the following. I hate to admit it, liberals were right, fundamentally, about DJT. Whether he has good intentions, he doesn't. Whether he has good or bad intentions, whether he means well or not. He says he's stirring up resentment against America's institutions. And what did he call himself? He called him a populist demagogue. What? A populist demagogue? Okay. So, you're going to see more of this now. This is what they do. This is what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, when you got people who have the complexion for the protection of the collection. YouTube, some of you follow me on TikTok, you got what I'm saying here. You see the palm, you see what's going on. But when they have this privilege, they feel they can have these mistakes. They can make these mistakes and go, all right. Oh well, sucks to be you. Right? Martin Luther King. Well, we're going to get into it. I'm coming for Gavin Newsom. I'm coming for him in this live. Martin Luther King said, fear not the right-winged white representative, because you know who they are. Fear the moderate white representative, because when it's time to fight for us, they always show their true colors. The thing about people like Nick Fuentes here, he knew from jump that DJT was bad for us. He just thought it would not hurt him. YouTube, TikTok, tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies. He thought it would not hurt him because of the complexion for the protection of the collection. But I guess it's cool now, right? Now that the country is about to go straight to hell, he could come out and say, you know what, guys? You're right. He sucks. He sucks badly. Yeah, thanks, Nick. A little late. Not even a little late. Way too late. But that's what they're doing now. All of them are coming out saying, we regret our vote. I wish you would have regretted it before November 5th. What, you think you could just change your vote now? It's too late. He's in there. You have to now wait until the next contest. And hopefully we'll get one before 2028. We'll have to see how that one goes. Because you know how I feel about what happened on November 5th. But it's a little late. And now you're seeing all these people with this complexion showing themselves. You'll get those ones who will say they were conned. No, you weren't conned. You never were conned. You knew exactly what you were getting. You just thought it wouldn't hurt you. But now that you feel like, oh my God, what? Why is it coming after me? Why are you taking away my Medicaid? Why are you taking away my food stamps? You do realize that when he went after these institutions, those institutions helped y'all more than us. YouTube, you know this to be a fact. The American government was geared towards helping y'all more than it helps us. A lot of stuff that helps us are institutions we created ourselves outside of the government. The government mainly helps y'all. And he's dismantling your stuff. And because he's dismantling your stuff, now y'all want to play Nick Fuentes over here and go, you know what? Y'all are right. He sucks. But then we got these liberals like Gavin Newsom. Let's go. People like Gavin Newsom who are now going further right. He's moving towards the right because he sees the landscape changing. And he's going to do this thing where he tries to frame it as, I am trying to rebuild the Republican Party. You know that's what he's going to do. You know Gavin Newsom is going to go Republican when he runs to be president whenever they do it. And then he's going to frame it as, I want to rebuild the Republican Party. That's why he's bringing in Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk. He said his own son is a fan of Charlie Kirk. Why would you say that? You are currently seen as a leader in the Democratic Party. And you're over here saying that your son idolizes a neo-Yahtzee. I'm sorry. You just committed political suicide. Same thing with Chuck Schumer. And they know they did. And by the way, I cannot wait to see how the reaction is for Chuck Schumer's book tour. Who here, by the way, YouTube and TikTok, who here plans on going to one of Chuck Schumer's book tour meetings, gatherings? Let me know. Because if you go, please upload the reaction. You already know they're going to eat him alive. Because for the next 6 months, him and 10 other Dems sent us into hell. Because decorum. Because respectability politics. Martin Luther King said, be aware of the moderate white representative. Because in times of hardship, when it's time to fight for us, some of them will go right. And then when they go right and realize that they messed up, they'll do the whole, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Yes, you did. Yes, you did know. No excuses. None whatsoever. And so that's what we're seeing now. And you'll get more of it. You'll get more people coming out saying, I regret my vote. We're already seeing these red hats calling up these senators. Well, let's just call them congressmen because it's in the House too. But calling them up and blowing up their voice machines with threats. I posted a video about it on TikTok, not YouTube. I should probably put it on YouTube. But I posted a video about it, y'all. It's real. Their own constituent has turned on them. Too late now. Too late. He's already in there and the country's going to hell because of you. But I guess you can now realize the error of your ways. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm going to take a couple of questions from both live chats. I see people bringing up Tim Walz doing these town halls in red hat rural towns. Yeah, so the town halls that the Republicans turned down, stopped doing, now Tim Walz is going around in these towns and doing these meetings for them, doing these town hall meetings for them. So I love this. Tim Walz understands that right now, these red hats feel abandoned. So there's a deep, deep opportunity for radicalizing, for converting red hats into supporters for the Democratic Party. He sees that. And I'm very, very upset that he's the only one that sees that. Well, not just him. Of course, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Bernie Sanders as well. But not enough people see that. If I'm Kamala, if I'm Obama, hell, the Clintons, I would be going to these town halls too. I'm serious. I would be hitting up these town halls today to radicalize the base that Trump took over. Take his base from him while they're weak. Radicalize the right to the left again. And take the power away from these people in charge. They're not serving them anyways. They're not serving their red constituent. They're serving their God King. They're serving the oligarchs, the billionaires. Sweet. This is the time for the Dems to become the real party of the people. He left his constituent in the dirt. They're all about to lose their Medicaids. They're about to lose their food stamps. This is the time to go to them. Right now, go to them and let them know we're here for you. We got you. Take over these town halls. Tim Walz is doing that. He understands long-term strategy. And I hope him and Kamala run again whenever they do their next contest. Let's be real. Yes, I do agree. I do agree that person won. I'll watch you when I say again. It's an opening. It's an opening to grow your base again. Or I'll make a video saying all of this so we can spread it amongst everyone else. I might make one on Tim Walz. I could do that. Yes, ETA is of course doing all the work on what happened with Miss Ma'am. Again, I'm trying to watch what I say because I don't want this to get taken down. But YouTube, I'm most likely in the future going to do a YouTube live where I just go off. So if you guys have a second, follow me on the tube that is you. I already said YouTube. Follow me on the tube that is you, because we don't even know if this app is going to be here in the next 2 weeks. April 5th is coming up, so follow me on all platforms. I got a lot of people in here, by the way, hundreds. Thank you. The sky that is blue and the tube that is you. And some of you are already following me on the tube that is you, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I haven't got a Substack yet. Should I get Substack? I'll think about Substack. Yeah, I thought about this idea that it's just not going to be Kamala and Tim running it. Like, in 2028, think about this. We could get Shapiro. If AOC wants to run, she can. If Jasmine Crockett wants to run, she can. Bernie's too old. We missed it on Bernie. We missed the boat on Bernie. We should have put him in 2016. I love the Clintons. I love Bill. I love Bill more than Hillary. Although I like Hillary. She's a centrist Democrat too. More Republican than Democrat. We agree. But I actually like her a lot more than other centrist Democrats. It should have been Bernie Sanders. We missed the boat on him. And I agree, we fumbled. We had an opportunity. But we need more Bernie Sanders. And so, what I love about them asking AOC to primary Chuck Schumer, because think about that. When Chuck Schumer screwed up his career, because it's over, they didn't ask Hakeem Jeffries to primary Chuck Schumer. They asked AOC. They asked the Socialist Democrat, the Democratic Socialists, to primary their leader, because that's what they want. That's who they want leading the party now. They want a new Democratic Party. And so I say we give it to them. Hell yeah. I hope she does primary him. She should. Someone said Pete Buttigieg. I would go for Pete. I'm fine with Pete. And he's the best of both worlds. He's progressive, but he also has some centrist ideas that I'm okay with. Yeah, Gavin Newsom is done. Forget about it. If he tries to run, it's gonna be a wrap. I wouldn't even try to run. Ageism. Yeah, we got too many people in the buildings in Congress who are way too old. Guys, I said it in a previous video. The average age for a congressman and congresswoman right now is 60. It was 65 in 2022. The average age. That means there are people older than 60. There are people older than 80. But there are people older than 60 in Congress right now. If you're over the age of 70, you shouldn't be in the government. Sorry. Yes, Biden was too old. So is DJT. If you're over the age of 70, you should not be in the government. That's 70. Yeah, I thought I said 60. 70. I'm sorry. They're too old, and that's the reason why we've fallen behind. That's why the Dems are struggling, because the leaders are old, and they're weak. And they can't fight this fascism, this regime. Some of them don't even know how to use TikTok. Some of them don't even use Facebook. That's how old they are. If you go up to them and say Facebook, they'll be like, what? Oh my God. It's terrible. All right, y'all. I think I'm good. This went really well. We're going to go ahead and cut things off here. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for joining me for this lovely live stream. I'll be somebody that'll come up here every once in a while to do these, but I'll be uploading some more videos throughout the day, so just look for that. Love you all. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day. And always know that Raw Cognizance will always be a safe space for you. So, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. All right. I think that's going to end it for... Yeah. That's going to end it for the stream on TikTok. That went well. So, thank y'all so much for joining me here on the YouTube live stream. I wish I would have done a better job of promoting this, but to the ones that showed up, I appreciate you. We'll try to do more of this, and I'll be a little bit more organized, but I hope it went well for you, and I had a good time doing it. Check me out. If you're on TikTok, of course, you know to check me out. I'm going to be doing a little bit more stuff here on the YouTube channel, but check me out on Blue Sky for anything that's crazy. And if TikTok does shut down, everything's going here. So this is going to get probably a lot more active in the next few weeks. So just stay tuned for that. Thank y'all so much. Take it easy. This is Raw Cognizance. Take it easy.